You have always believed airports are liminal spaces, places where versions of you quietly shift. And today, as you step into the chilled cabin of the long haul flight, the shift feels deliberate. Your shoulders loosen, your usually serious, studious aura dissolves. You're simply a 27-year-old woman beginning a strange, exciting new chapter in another country. You slide into your window seat, drop your backpack, stretch your legs, and smile at the flight attendant who thanks you for boarding early. You nod back with your typical easygoing charm, the one that only comes out when you're far from deadlines and academic seriousness. You're scrolling through the in flight map when you sense someone stopping beside you. A low voice clears his throat. Excuse me, sorry, that's my seat. You glance up and freeze for a beat. The man beside you is almost startling in appearance. Black hair falling effortlessly across his forehead, a silver hoop in one ear, a soft black hoodie that should look ordinary but somehow clings to him too well. Eyes, warm, gentle, amused, already studying you with quiet interest. He gives a shy, polite smile. Can I just get in? You shift, letting him slide into the aisle seat. He moves with an ease that feels practiced, like traveling comes naturally to him. He settles in, exhales, and looks out at the runway with a little spark in his eyes, like he enjoys the idea of leaving places behind. Minutes pass in comfortable silence, and then turbulence nurtures the plane as it begins to taxi. The armrest between you rattles. You steady yourself with one hand, and his hand moves at the same time. Your fingers brush. You both flinch slightly, then laugh under your breaths. Sorry, you murmur. No, my fault, he says, voice light as wind. It's always this armrest that betrays me. His accent is familiar, your eyes narrow slightly. Wait, are you from Korea? He brightens instantly. You too? Yeah, Seoul. His eyes widen, then soften into something like delight. I am from Seoul as well. What are the odds? The conversation flows without effort. You tell him you're pursuing your master's after years of working. He tells he's starting a new position at a university abroad but keeps the details vague as if saving the specifics for another time. You ask, so what made you move? He shrugs slightly. New beginnings, new air. Then adds with a playful side glance, maybe new chaos. You laugh, a real unfiltered laugh you haven't heard from yourself in months. Somewhere between the takeoff and the seatbelt sign switching off, the atmosphere between you changes, becomes charged, slow, quietly magnetic. You can feel him looking at you sometimes, not in a rude way, in a curious, lingering way, like he's trying to memorize how you react to the smallest things. When the cabin lights dim for meal service, the glow from his screen lights half his face, and your heart trips a little. During turbulence again, you grab the seat. He reaches to, his hand gently landing on your back in reflex. Sorry, he says instantly, pulling away. I didn't mean to. It's okay. You breathe. But it's too late. The single touch has changed things. Your pulse is a drum, his fingers tremble just slightly, and there's a silence filled with something unmistakable. Hours pass like seconds. You talk about travel, food, embarrassing airport stories. He teases you for being dramatic about airplane coffee. You tease him for getting emotional over documentaries. And slowly, naturally, the space between you grows smaller. A knee brushes yours. You don't move. He doesn't either. At some point, even you aren't sure when you feel his gaze on your lips. You swallow. He looks away with a tiny smirk that makes your stomach twist. When he excuses himself to go to the washroom, you nod, pretending to watch the movie. But you're aware of your racing heartbeat. Your skin feels too warm, your breath too shallow. A moment later, you rise to stretch your legs. Just stretch, that's the intention. But your steps slow near the washroom area, and when the door opens and he emerges, you both stop. Face to face, too close. Close enough to feel his breath mix with yours. Neither of you speak. There is no script, just an unspoken powerful pull. He gently takes your wrist, not forceful, not rushed. A question, an invitation. Your breath hitches. You don't step back. And in that charged moment, you both slip into the narrow cabin washroom. Not because it's rational, not because it's planned, but because the gravity between you has become undeniable. The door clicks shut. His hands lift to cup your jaw with slowness that makes your spine arch. You feel the warmth of him, the nearness, the unspoken hunger in his eyes. Your breaths collide before your lips ever do. The first kiss is slow, exploratory, almost reverent, as if neither of you expected it to feel this intoxicating. Then urgency takes over. Your fingers curl into his hoodie, his hand slips to your waist, pulling you closer. Your bodies press in the cramped space, breath shallow, hearts wild. He kisses you like he is discovering something he didn't know he had been missing. Soft, then deeper, then slow again, as though memorizing the taste of the moment that shouldn't exist. The world outside disappears. There is only breath, warmth, a trembling kind of electricity. Then you finally part. His forehead stays against yours, both of you panting softly, eyes half lidded. He whispers, voice rougher than before. This is insane. You smile breathlessly, absolutely. Neither of you know how much this time has passed when you exit the washroom separately, pretending nothing happened, but your lips are still tingling. When the plane lands hours later, the atmosphere between you has shifted again, gentler, quieter, unsure. You walk together until immigration splits you. A soft smile, a small wave, a goodbye that tastes like unfinished business. Take care, he says. You too, you answer. You turn away before your heart gives too much away, because this was supposed to be a one-time altitude high moment, a passing spark. But as you walk into the new country's cold air, one thing is clear. You're not going to forget him, and somewhere in another terminal, he is not forgetting you either. Time skip. You have always been good at shifting gears. By the time orientation week begins, the carefree altitude high version of you, the girl laughing at airplane coffee and kissing a stranger in a cramped cabin washroom, is tucked away behind your usual armor of focus. Your hair is tied neatly, your laptop bag is organized, your expression is calm, composed, determined. No one here knows you were on that flight, and no one needs to. The university campus is sprawling and beautiful, modern buildings with glass facades, sunlight filtering through the wide courtyards, students scattered like colorful dots on a living map. You breathe in the fresh air of fresh beginnings, letting it coat your lungs with purpose. Ryan, a cheerful voice calls. You turn to see Anya, your closest friend in the program. Sharp eyes, sharp tongue, and a heart that often surprises you with its softness. She jogs over, linking her arms with yours. Did you sleep at all last night? You look like you're about to submit a thesis, not attend orientation. You roll your eyes. Terrifying, she replies. The lecture hall buzzes with chatter as you enter. Students comparing backgrounds, gossiping about the course load, scanning the room for attractive faces because humans are predictable. You take a seat near the middle. Two more classmates join you. Mia, competitive but unintentionally funny, sits down with a sigh. If the professors are strict, I'm dropping out. Jun, known for his failed flirting attempts, grins. I heard one of the new professors is hot. Dave, sitting behind you, leans forward. Bro, every year you say that. Manifesting, Jun whispers dramatically. You shake your head with a small smile. Their banter is a comforting distraction because deep inside, a memory from the plane is trying to break through your carefully composed exterior. The orientation begins, department heads introduce themselves, course structures are explained. Everything is neat, predictable, academic, until the coordinator announces. And now I would like to introduce our newest faculty member joining us for the graduate program this year. Your pen stops moving, your heartbeat becomes loud. Professor John, you don't breathe, you don't blink, you barely exist for a second because the man walking down the aisle toward the podium, the man in a crisp white shirt, sleeves rolled exactly 3 times, hair styled neatly, glass perched on his nose, is him, the man from the plane, the stranger you kissed, the stranger you haven't stopped thinking about. He walks with an effortless confidence, posture straight, expression calm. Not the soft hoodie wearing version you met at 35,000 feet. This is someone who's disciplined, controlled, untouchable. Your stomach drops. Anya leans close, whispering, "Wow, okay, he's definitely hot." But her voice feels distant. Everything feels distant because Jungkook, your Jungkook from the flight, is now standing at the podium, adjusting the mic with practiced ease. He surveys the room, then his eyes find you. Just for a second, a flicker of recognition, a barely there tightening of his jaw, a softness quickly buried under professionalism. He looks away. In a voice smooth and sure, he begins, "Good morning. My name is John Jungkook. I'll be leading your Advanced Behavioral Studies module this semester." Your heart lurches painfully. Jun whispers, "Oh damn, his voice is illegal." Mia nods. If he gives surprise tests, I'll still forgive him. You stare at your notebook, fingers trembling subtly. Jungkook continues outlining the expectations for his course. Strict attendance, rigorous assignments, no tolerance for late submissions. His tone is firm, disciplined. Nothing like the playful man who shared jokes with you over airplane turbulence. But when he mentions research projects, his gaze drifts back to you, lingering, measured. You look down again quickly, pulse racing. After the session, students swarm toward the exit, buzzing about the new professor. Anya nudges you. "You okay? You look like you saw a ghost." You force a laugh. Jet lag. She doesn't bite, but lets it go. When you step into the hallway, you can feel him watching. You don't look. You don't dare. You walk out with your friend's heart hammering, trying to wrap your mind around the collision of worlds. The man you thought you left 8,000 miles behind is now standing behind a faculty desk in the same university as your professor. You exhale shakily. This was not supposed to happen, but the universe clearly has other plans. Time skip. The university settles into rhythm. Lecture halls hums with whispered gossip, libraries fill with quiet scratches of pens, cafeterias echo with clattering plates and tired laughter. And in the middle of all that predictable academic chaos, there is Jungkook, Professor John, the man you met as a stranger, the man you kissed like a secret, the man you are now expected to address as Sir. You avoid him, diligently, obsessively, almost theatrically. Your arrivals to class, so you slip in just before he begins. You leave the moment he says, "That's all for today." You volunteer to switch group partners to dodge his direct supervision. But avoidance has never been so exhausting because he notices. He always notices. His lectures become your personal background. He stands at the podium, shoulders squared, sleeves rolled, voice sharp, and commands the entire room effortlessly. Your research proposals are due next week. Any deviation from the brief will not be entertained. Groans ripple through the class. But when his eyes scan the room, they pause on you. Careful, calculating, as if checking whether you are keeping your distance or accidentally revealing the tension threading between you. You sit straight up, pretending to take notes. Your heart, however, is a riot. Anya leans in. He looks at you a lot. You elbow her. He looks at everyone a lot. "No," she says, narrowing her eyes. He looks at you like he's trying to solve something. Your pen almost slips from your fingers. Time skip. The first time he calls you to his cabin happens after a particularly dense lecture on behavioral frameworks. You're packing your bag when his voice slices through the chatter. "Wyan, could you stay back a moment?" You freeze. Anya lifts her brows. "What did you do?" Before you can retaliate, Jungkook's gaze flickers to your friend. "Just some academic queries, nothing serious." You want to scream. Everything about this is serious. Your steps toward his desk feels like walking into a storm. He doesn't look at you immediately. He finishes stacking his lecture notes, adjusting them with meticulous precision. Then finally, "Come to my cabin," he says quietly. 5 minutes. Not a question, a firm instruction. You swallow hard. This is not the man who whispered against your lips in an airplane washroom. This is Professor John, strict, controlled, a man who is dangerously good at hiding things. His cabin smells faintly of cedar and ink. Jungkook stands near his desk, arms crossed loosely, observing you with unreadable eyes. You shut the door slowly. He breaks the silence first. "You've been avoiding me," he says. Your breath catches. "I've been busy." One corner of his mouth lifts, not a smile, a knowing curve. "Busy," he repeats. As in, entering class exactly on time and escaping before I finish my sentences? Heat creeps up your neck. Professor, you don't have to call me that when we are alone. Your pulse stumbles. He steps closer, not enough to touch, but enough to shatter every ounce of rationality you have tried to maintain. His voice drops. What are you running from, Vian? You grip the strap of your bag. I'm not running. He hums softly, a disbelieving sound. Then look at me. You lift your eyes. It is a mistake. Jungkook's gaze is intense, enough to anchor you in place. Steady, deep, holding everything the two of you haven't dared to say aloud. He moves just slightly closer. Your breath shortens. His hand lifts, slow, hesitant, and for a moment you think he's going to cup your face like he did on the plane. Instead, he brushes a loose strand of hair off your shoulder. Barely a touch, barely anything, but it sends a shiver down your spine so sharp you nearly step back. This time, you do step back. Don't, you whisper. He leans against his desk, crossing his arms again, calm, patient, unshaken. All right, he murmurs. I won't touch you unless you want me to. Your heart slams against your ribs. That's not the point. It's exactly the point. You frown, but he continues before you can respond. You avoid me, he says softly, but you don't hate the attention. He is not wrong, that is the problem. You clench your jaw. This is inappropriate, you know that. He tilts his head, which is why I have kept every interaction strictly professional. You almost laugh, except right now. His eyes soften, not playful this time, but honest in a way that makes your chest ache. I just needed to know you're okay. His sincerity hits you harder than his flirtation ever has. You nod, unsure what else to do. He watches you for a long moment before exhaling. You can go. As you turn to leave, his voice follows you. Vian? You look back. His expression is unreadable, but his voice is careful, measured. I'm not going to pretend nothing happened between us. Your breath snags. But I'll wait, he says, until you're ready to stop pretending to. You escape before your heartbeat betrays you. Words spreads quickly. By the next week, your classmates have decided there is a conspiracy. Anya smirks every time his gaze lingers too long. Mia nudges you when he praises your answers. Jun teases you relentlessly. Professor John's favorite student. When are we getting VIP classes? You roll your eyes, threaten to throw your textbook at them, but none of it stops the whispers or the heat that coils in your stomach every time Jungkook looks at you, because now there is no denying it. The push and pull has begun and neither of you is breaking first. Time skip. Days pass in a blur of lectures, deadlines, and unspoken chaos. You pretend everything is normal. Jungkook pretends to believe you. But the tension between you has grown into something quiet and relentless, a thread tugging at both your chests, tightening with every stolen glance. Your friends tease you, your classmates whisper. You avoid his cabin until you can't anymore, because the confusion clawing at your ribs becomes too much to ignore. So one evening, when the campus has emptied into twilight, you send him a short message. His reply comes instantly. Your hands tremble as you walk through the silent hallway, the smell of polished floors and the cool air unsettlingly nostalgic. The corridor feels longer than usual, your heartbeat louder than your footsteps. When you knock, the door opens immediately. Jungkook stands there, sleeves rolled, hair slightly messy as if he's been running his hands through it. His glasses rest on the desk. His expression is unreadable. Come in, he says quietly. The door closes behind you with a soft click that feels louder than it should. He gestures to the chair across from his, but you shake your head. I'll stand. He raises an eyebrow, slowly, almost amused but mostly concerned. All right, he murmurs. Then talk to me. You inhale deeply. I need to know what you want. You say, voice steadier than you feel. This, whatever is going on, I don't understand it, and it's messing with my head. A flicker of something, relief, passes through his eyes. He leans back, arms folded loosely, studying you with his quiet intensity. What do you think is going on? He asks softly. I don't know, you say, almost frustrated. That's why I'm asking. He rises slowly from his chair, stepping around the desk, not close enough to touch you, but close enough that you feel the shift in air. Then he speaks. When he says, voice low and certain, something is happening between us and you know it. Your pulse skips. He watches your silence, your breath, the way your fingers tighten around the folder in your hands. You felt it on the plane. He adds, voice tightening slightly. You feel it in class and you feel it right now. You look away because denying it would be a lie. He sees that. He always sees through you. Jungkook, you whisper, we can't. He steps just a little closer, gaze softening in a way that breaks your composure. Do you think I'm asking for something serious? He says gently. I'm not. Your eyes lift sharply. He continues, expression calm but sincere. I don't want anything heavy. I don't want promises. I don't want labels. A pause. But I do want this. His eyes drops to your lips for the briefest second before meeting yours again. I want to give whatever we have a shot, even if it's messy, even if it's temporary, even if it's just... He breathes out, searching for the right word. Something real for right now. Your heart squeezes painfully. You shake your head, voice trembling. But you are a professor and I am your student. He doesn't flinch, I know. And this could go wrong, you insist. I know that too. So why risk it? You whisper. His answer is immediate. Because I find it thrilling, he says, barely above a breath. Because you make it impossible not to. His eyes darken, not with lust but with something softer, more dangerous. And because hiding something with you feels addictive. Your stomach flips violently. You scoff weakly, trying to maintain your seriousness. This is not funny. I am not laughing, he says, through a faint smile tugs at his mouth. But then he grows serious, genuinely serious. But tell me something. Can you honestly say you feel nothing? You freeze. Silence wraps around you like a thin exposing sheet. Your lack of denial is answer enough. Jungkook steps closer, slow, cautious, giving you space to move away. You don't. His fingers brush your wrist, just a whisper of contact, barely anything. But your body reacts as if struck by lightning. You swallow hard. Stop. He lets his hand fall instantly. No argument, no pressure. See, he says softly. I listen. A tiny smile. But that doesn't mean I'll stop trying. Your heart is chaos. He tilts his head, eyes warm and unbearably honest. I know you're not someone who takes risk easily. I know you think too much and I know you're scared. You blink rapidly because he's right. But I also know, he adds, voice dropping further, that you like me, maybe more than you want to. Your breath shakes and I like you too, he finishes, in ways I didn't expect. You stare at him, torn between desire, fear, and rationality. What if people find out? You whisper. He grins softly, playfully, confidently. So what? Your jaw drops slightly. So what? Jungkook. He interrupts with a teasing look. Relax. I'm not about to post it on the department WhatsApp group. You glare at him. He chuckles, a warm, deep sound that hits you harder than it should. Why are you so calm about this? You demand. He steps 1 inch closer, voice rich with quiet mischief. Because I'm very good at getting away with things. You gape at him. And what if we don't get away with it? Then I'll handle it. Your brows shoot up. How? He takes 2 smooth steps forward, closing the distance entirely. Your back hits the bookshelf behind you, your breath stutters. He leans in, slow, deliberate, until his lips are just a breath away from yours, because his voice is a whisper brushing across your skin. I am the dean's one and only dear loving son. Your eyes widen, and before your shock can even settle, he pulls you closer by the waist and crashes his lips onto yours. The kiss is decisive, certain, the kind that steals the breath right out of your lungs, the kind that ends every argument you thought you had, and just like that you're gone again, just like on the plane, just like you were always going to be. The moment his lips meet yours, the world collapses into sensation, not reckless, not rushed, but inevitable. His kiss is firm, deliberate, almost relieved, like he's finally doing something he's been restraining for weeks. You gasp softly against his mouth, fingers instinctively gripping the fabric of his shirt to keep yourself steady. He slows the kiss after a few seconds, pulling back just enough for your breaths to mingle. His forehead rests against yours. His voice is low, roughened by emotion he's trying to mask. You have no idea, he whispers, how much I wanted to do that again. Your pulse is frantic, wild thing. You press a hand against his chest, not to push him away but to keep your knees from buckling. Jungkook, you breathe, trying to summon rationality no longer possesses. This is insane. We can't do this. He smiles softly, brushing your cheek with the back of his fingers. You said that on the plane too. Your cheeks heat. That was different. No, he murmurs, tilting his head as if studying something precious. It was the beginning. You step back, only one step, but it feels like pulling yourself out of gravity. What if someone saw? You whisper sharply. What if someone followed me here? What if anyone finds out? He doesn't look alarmed. He looks amused, dangerously amused. Then I'll handle it. He repeats calmly. You keep saying that, you hiss under your breath. How? How can you be so casual about this? He leans back against his desk, crossing his arms, watching you pace with a quiet smile. The same way, he says gently. I stayed calm when I realized you were my student on the first day. You stopped pacing. You what? He shrugs a little, eyes twinkling. When I walked into class and saw you sitting there, I almost walked back out. Thought I was hallucinating from jet lag. Your stomach drops. Then why didn't you act shocked? You demand. Jungkook laughs, soft, warm, intimate. I'm good at hiding things, he says. It's a survival skill when your father is the dean. You stare at him, heart racing, mind spiraling. His words from earlier echo in your skull. I am the dean's one and only dear loving son. So you mean, you say slowly, if someone catches us, he cuts you off gently, stepping forward until his presence fills your space again. I mean, he says, brushing your jaw with his thumb. I am in the one position on this campus where consequences bend. You swallow hard. This is not reassuring. His lips twitch. It's not meant to be, it's meant to be honest. His hand drops to your waist. Not pulling, just resting. Warm, grounding, familiar. You close your eyes briefly, fighting the shiver running through you. Why me? You whisper. His answer is immediate. Because you're the only person who's made my life feel less predictable. His tone deepens. Because you challenge me. Because you avoid me and still blush when I look at you. His breath brushes your temple. And because that day on the plane wasn't just chemistry. Your eyes open. He looks at you like he's unraveling you thread by thread. It was connection. He finishes softly, and you know that. You hate how true that feels. Your voice comes out barely audible. And what happens now? Jungkook smiles, not cocky, not smug, just sure. Now, he murmurs, we stop pretending. Your breath stutters. I'm still scared. He nods. And I still want you. Your chest tightens painfully. You whisper, this is reckless. He lifts your chin gently. So be reckless with me. You blink, heat prickling behind your eyes, not sadness, not fear, something heavier, deeper. And if I say no, you ask. He steps back immediately, hands up, expression softening. Then I stop. I swear I won't push. I'll be your professor, nothing more. Your heart aches at the sincerity in his voice, but he continues quietly. If you want this too, even a little, then I'm right here. The silence between you is thick, heavy, charged. You take one slow breath, then another, and then you step forward just an inch. His eyes darken with understanding. Your voice is barely a whisper. This doesn't mean I'm saying yes. He nods, stepping closer until your body is almost touched. Then I won't treat it like a yes. He leans in, lips hovering over yours, but I'll treat it like hope. You shiver, and then because hesitation feels pointless, because your heart has already chosen even if your mind hasn't, you whisper, Jungkook. He looks up, eyes burning, and you kiss him. This time you're the one who pulls him. This time he laughs softly against your mouth, surprise revealed, undone. The kiss is slow, lingering, a surrender, a beginning disguised as a mistake. When you finally pull away breathless, he rests his forehead against yours, whispering, whatever happens, we'll figure it out. You don't trust your voice enough to answer, so you nod, and the line between danger and desire quietly dissolves.